I want to ask a specific, though. You've expended a certain amount of reputational energy and much more on the jihadists. In your battles, shall we say there, how much allyship, to use a very voguish term, have you found from fellow secular, rational people who want to love and reason like you?
Well, that is a leading question, isn't it?
I've got fingers if you need more.
Yeah. No, your fingers are safe. No, unfortunately, but but this is a problem of, I wouldn't ascribe this to, well, the allies you can easily find among deeply religious Christians, say, are there for the wrong reasons. Right. I mean, so I can find, I can
well,
go into.
not,
Are there
surely
wrong
not all
reasons
of
for
them.
that?
Well, no,
Wrong reasons.
They're there for the wrong. Well, they see the problem clearly for the wrong reasons. So, for instance, I meet secular scientist types, anthropologists, say, who are so far from knowing what it's like to believe in revelation that they don't believe anyone else does.
Sure.
Right. So when you tell them that members of ISIS really believe that if you die in the right circumstances, you get 72 virgins, and you're in, surrounded by rivers of milk and honey and all the rest. If you go into the ivory tower, you meet people who don't believe that anyone believes that stuff. But if you go into a megachurch, they know people believe that stuff because they believe their own dogmas, right? That's what it's like to be effortlessly right for not especially good reasons. The fact that you believe a book was written by God, and therefore it's trivially easy for you to understand that someone else believes that, but they just have the wrong book. That's not the rational basis for understanding our circumstance that we're looking for.
I'm not saying whether one is right and one is wrong, but one seems to have more commitment in that. And in one battle you're fighting, commitment may be important.
Indeed.
There may be many reasons why the people who deeply want to love and be rational are absolutely no damn use in that fight. Because they want to preserve their happiness a bit longer, preserve their comfort a bit longer, cannot understand people who genuinely come from a fundamentalist standpoint.
Yeah.
And therefore,
and there's also other, to steelman their case for a moment, it is understandable to be sensitive to and guilty about the history of colonialism and the reality of racism, and to be so committed to tolerance as your master virtue that you're tempted to tolerate intolerance and not recognize it to be cowardice, which in fact it is.
Making tolerance your core value is much different than making truth your core value, which is an interesting thing, because, and perhaps this is one of the places where you and the fundamentalist radical leftists, let's say, differ, is that the core value that's emerging there is definitely one of tolerance, whereas the core value that you espouse is one of truth. And truth and tolerance are not the same thing.
Yes,
and so it might also,
nor is the pursuit of truth and the belief that as a result truth can be found, that it's not a single thing on its own, you just pursue it as a hobby. It's just something you do, but that you believe that at the end of it there is a truth to be found.
But Douglas, what do you fear is the case here? If there were more people like me in the West, right? Well, maybe I'm the outlier here. I'm somehow infected by this overweening commitment to truth and rationality and science, and yet I'm still motivated to worry about jihad. But you're worried that there are many people like me who are oblivious to the problem.
Why are you worried about it when so many other people who are hypothetically, this is the question you asked, why are you so worried about when there's so many people who are hypothetically like you that don't seem to be worried about it? I mean, maybe you're wrong and you shouldn't be worried about it, although Douglas is obviously worried about it too.
One answer is a possibility, it's my worry at any rate, that we may be living in an era when we are discovering that the Enlightenment and the Enlightenment's values never went very wide and didn't go terribly deep. And this is a very painful realization to make. But not only do we go all around the world and discover that, we find that at home. The roots turn out not to have gone very deep in even this society. And that's a problem.
It is a problem, but hence my commitment to making them deeper.
And to reiterate the point, I'd be very happy if it was entirely Sam Harris's all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay? I'd have no problem with that. It's just that underneath Sam Harris, it's hell.